Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. No doubting the biggest story of the day, Riyad Mahrez has been linked with a move to Arsenal. It still rumbles on after it came out of nowhere yesterday. Story coming from ESPN, who are not really an outlet that's normally known for just putting transfer rumours out there just so that they can get attention. So this is why the story's got a lot of legs. This is why a lot of people have been like, well, hold on a minute. There might be something in this. They heard a whisper that the agents were talking to Arsenal on Friday, even though the agent also has a player who does play for Lens. But ESPN quite adamant that, you know, they were speaking and that they heard that Mahrez, in principle, has agreed to join Arsenal. It's just for Leicester and Arsenal to get the deal done. That is what they were saying, and it's everywhere today. Back page of the Star, back page of the Mirror. On the back page of the Mirror, they're even suggesting that Arsenal are going to make a double swoop, Mahrez and Lacazette, which is something that will please all Arsenal fans out there. But just how true are the rumours? Just how likely is it to happen? I mean, with the Riyad Mahrez thing, we saw yesterday that Claudio Ranieri, Leicester were playing in a friendly against Celtic, which they won, and Mahrez scored a great goal in. And Claudio Ranieri came out after the game talking about his man, and he said, you know, these are his quotes. He says, "It's good for us. It's good for you, but not for us. Did you see Riyad, how happy he is? He played well and worked so hard for the team and scored a good goal. Then he stays with us, of course. For us, it's very important because he's one of our stars. He is our fantasy. We can work hard, but with him, something changed. With another team, there are many more stars, and maybe he doesn't play at the same level. Maybe he will go on the bench. It is much better that he stays here with me, and another year is important for him. Maybe now 47 million, maybe tomorrow another paper says 100 million. Keep going," he says. "Mahrez is okay with us. He understands that someone loves to put speculation, but it's only speculation." Now, it's up to Arsenal, I believe in this case, to turn any speculation into reality. If Arsenal are serious about signing Riyad Mahrez, this is when you hear me a lot of times talking about having aggression in the transfer market. This is where that aggression has to show, where they go out there with a big wad of money, unsettle the player, put the money on the table and say, right, it's here. We want you. You said you want to come to us. The money's here. Leicester, we're willing to pay £45 million for this guy. We want him. He wants to come. Let's do this deal. And yeah, it will get messy in the press and stuff like that for a few days, but you get your man. This is the only way you get players like him over the line. Now, Chelsea got N'Golo Kante over the line. Do Arsenal have the ability to get Mahrez? That's if we are truly after Mahrez. Again, we don't know that. We don't know if Mahrez is a target. Listen, we did a poll on it yesterday, and I asked the question, would you like Arsenal to sign Riyad Mahrez? And 94%, I don't think I've seen a more comprehensive poll all summer that I've done. 94% of you said, yes, let's sign Riyad Mahrez. So it'd be a very, very popular with the fans. Are Arsenal going to get this deal done? It's one that we're going to have to wait and see, but it's everywhere. As is the Lacazette thing, because of the Mirror saying that, you know, they feel that Lacazette is part of the puzzle as well. And could you imagine that front three? Lacazette through the middle, Alexis on the left, Mahrez on the right, Ozil in behind with Xhaka saying Ramsey. You know, all of a sudden, you started to see a very, very good team. Options of Giroud to come up. You know, you start to see a top team. Do Arsenal have the ability to make this happen? The Lacazette thing's all over the Daily Mirror today. They're saying that that's part of the puzzle. Arsenal always also want to get Lacazette. They're talking about 35 million. I think it would cost more than that to get that deal done. Again, we've all known about the Lacazette thing for quite a long time. And, you know, it's just lingering and lingering on. Do we want to get Lacazette done? If we do, again, it's a similar thing with the Mahrez deal. Put the money on the table and get the deal done. I personally can't see Arsenal buying both of these. I'm sorry to dampen everybody's spirits here. It's just me. I can't see Arsenal going out and, say, for instance, spending £75 million on both of those players. I could see maybe Arsenal getting one of them. And again, to me, the one that would be probably the easier to get would be Lacazette. The one that we need probably more, in my opinion, is the striker. Mahrez is a winger. He's a brilliant winger. He scores lots of goals. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be unhappy with Mahrez in the slightest. As a matter of fact, let me put it out there to you guys. If it boils down to the fact that we could only have one of those two, who would you prefer, Riyad Mahrez or Alexander Lacazette? There's the poll. Vote in that. Riyad Mahrez or Alexander Lacazette. Who would you rather have out of those two? Let me know, and we'll announce the result for that tomorrow. The other interesting thing that came out yesterday is about Gonzalo Higuain. Gonzalo Higuain has apparently already had his medical at Juventus and has agreed to join Juventus. Juventus, we are reading, are going to pay that massive £79 million release clause, and they're going to fund it by selling Paul Pogba, which is another one of those deals that seems obvious is going to happen, by selling Paul Pogba to Manchester United for in excess of £100 million. Wow. And that's how they're going to finance that deal. And you already look at that team, and they've already got an amazing team there in Juventus, and they're looking to strengthen it again by bringing in Gonzalo Higuain. So that looks like that is over for Arsenal as well. Napoli, from what I've heard, would have preferred to sell Higuain to Arsenal, because obviously you don't want to sell to a direct rival, but they just can't turn down that sort of mega money, £79 million. So it looks like that is another target that we've lost out on. I truly have always believed right along the line that I couldn't see Arsenal playing that release clause. And it's sad to say, we should be able to be in for these sort of signings, but I just couldn't see Arsenal playing it. It is overpriced, but it's what you're going to have to do if you want the very best. But it looks like he will be on his way to Juventus from Napoli for £79 million. The interesting thing I was also reading is that Napoli are considering using some of that money to get Lacazette. So if Arsenal don't hurry up and move, Napoli will be flush with money, £79 million. Every club that they go to try, you know, and replace Higuain as a striker are going to know that, so they're going to bump their price up. So it could be Napoli that move to try and bring in Lacazette and nick Lacazette from under Arsenal's nose, if Arsenal are looking at him. I'm really intrigued to find out who Arsenal are after. They're saying that they're very, very active in the transfer market. Lyon has said they've had no bids for Lacazette. Napoli said they had no bids for Higuain. There's no bids that's gone in so far for Mahrez. Lots of speculation. We're very, very active. For who? That is what Arsenal fans want to see. And again, it just seems like, you know, I know it seems like I'm moaning. There's some fans have accused me recently of moaning. But the reason why I'm moaning is because it seems to be, again, repeating what we've done in previous years. Just waiting and waiting and waiting around. Why are we not moving? If the Mahrez thing could get done, well, you know, then we're going to be starting to be proved wrong, and we'll be showing some aggression in the transfer market. But I wait to see if that happens. And funny enough, that poll that I did yesterday where I asked the question, do you have faith in Arsenal's transfer policy and Arsene Wenger with our transfer policy? And 64% of you said no, you have no faith in Arsenal's transfer policy. And that is pretty damning when you see it written like that. Good to see Granit Xhaka, Jack Wilshere, Rob Holding, all training yesterday ahead of the trip to the US. Those guys are going to be out there. One guy who's not going to be going is Alexis Sanchez. He's going to be staying in the UK, but Arsene Wenger's gone on to say that, listen, his injury's not that bad, but, you know, no point in taking a chance of him going out there and aggravating that in any way. So that seems pretty sensible. But those other guys should be going, and it was good to see them all in training yesterday. Let's get into some of your comments. Man from the Orient says Juventus has just signed Higuain. They've signed Alves, Benatia and Panic, and they do not have a wealthy owner, or neither do they have a huge TV deal nor huge sponsorship deals as us, nor do they have the amount of ticket sales as a club, yet they spend lots of money for top class players. They just won the league, and they show ambition and try to improve on an already world-class team and title-winning squad. Being an Arsenal fan is the most frustrating thing in the world, because unlike other teams, we have the money but simply cannot spend it because of greedy board and a greedy manager. Wenger and Gazidis are 100% lying to us and not looking at marquee signings at all, because Kroenke collects the majority of the money, and that's a reflection of quite a lot of fans at the moment. And listen, Juventus are a massive club. I know what he's saying there, but they are a huge club. But he's right when he talks about the ambition. They've been winning the league easily for years there now in Italy, but obviously their target is the Champions League. If Pogba goes, they want to keep the level high, and bringing in Higuain as a replacement shows their fans that they're still very ambitious. Arsenal, we've just not been operating in that way. We just have to be honest. You know, you guys got a lot of good points there. Tanver Ali says a midfield of Ozil, Sanchez and Mahrez will be wasted on Giroud. So he's still not a Giroud fan. Matin Abedi says if Mahrez and Lacazette come to Arsenal, we could genuinely win the league. And Ben Hudd says Wenger just needs to buy Mahrez and Lacazette. And you know, a lot of you guys reflecting there that you'd love to see those two coming in. You know what? I think I said a couple of weeks ago, it's a big week for Arsenal. Nothing happened. You know what? It's a big week this week. I'm going out there to the States. I really hope that I can catch up with the chief executive out there, and you know, get to even interview him or talk to him and ask him, you know, what are we doing? Are we really active? Because a lot of the fans at the moment, as you can see by that poll, are not believing in it. They can prove everybody wrong by getting one of these mega deals, a Mahrez, a Lacazette, over the line. But let's see what happens. Thanks for watching AFTV Transfer Daily, and we'll be back around about the same time tomorrow.